All right, so we have finished. This is not our plan today. I changed it already since yesterday. We have finished all of our factoring, all of our kinds of factoring that we're going to be doing in this class, okay? So we're going to talk today about what happens when it's all mixed up together, because that's how you're going to see it when we take the big test, okay? That's how we're going to see it. So we need to know how to approach the questions, because we've had it all nice and divided up. We did just common factors. We did just 2 terms, just 3 terms, just 4 terms. But now, we're going to see it today, what happens when it's all mixed up together, okay? There are a set of steps that you need to follow for every single question. And I have been emphasizing these 3 steps already once we started Goal 4.2, okay? In blue are the most 3 important things. So number 1, is there a common factor? Is there a common factor? Look for that first on every single question. Okay? So sometimes there is, sometimes there's not. Question 2. How many terms are there? Because that's going to determine how you're going to factor it. If there are 2 terms, is it a difference of squares? So recognizing a difference of squares is important, as we emphasized way back in Goal 4.2. If there are 3 terms, then you're going to try to factor it by using that FOIL, reversed FOIL, I guess I should call it. Doing your trial and error, which reminds me I have some stuff to get back to you. And if there are 4 terms, then you're going to try group it, like you just did today. And then your third question always is, can I factor more? Anytime that we've been able to factor more, it's a difference of squares. That's really important to recognize, okay? So we're going to go through some questions. I don't know how many I have on here. 8. Together, with those 3 steps in mind. And this is how you're going to see it when you get to the test, okay? Which is not yet. So question 1, is there a common factor? Yes. I can take out a 2. So 2 divided into 2x squared leaves me x squared, or 1x squared. 2 divided into 128 is 64. Question 2, how many terms are there? There are 2 terms. So when I look at these 2 terms, I ask myself, is it a difference of squares? And I would hopefully be answering to myself right now, yes, it's a difference of squares. So I'm going to go to my 2 parentheses. Difference of squares have absolutely no guesswork. There's no guesswork involved. You break them up exactly the same in the first and last spots. So x squared is x times x. 64 is 8 times 8. 1 gets a plus, 1 gets a minus. And then, can I factor more? You would be looking for a difference of squares. This is not a difference of squares. So we're done. That's my answer. I don't mean to make it sound that simple, but yes, we're done there. Okay? Okay, next question. Is there a common factor? Now, the factor would have to be common to all 4 terms, and there's not. X is on 3 of them, but not 4 of them. 2 goes into 3 of these, but not all 4. 3 goes into these 2, 2 goes into those 2. There's nothing common to all 4 terms. So I go to question 2. How many terms are there? There are 2 terms. Well, there are 2 terms. I'm ahead of myself. There are 4 terms. I can't count. So I'm going to use my grouping, which is what I just finished doing today on my assessment. The first 2 have a common factor of 3x to the 2nd power. And I divide that in. 3x to the 2nd divided into 3x to the 3rd leaves me x. Plus comes down. 3x squared divided into 12x squared is 4. Remember when we group that sign determines the sign that comes down. And then my common factor for the second 2 is 2. 2 divided into 2x leaves me x. 2 divided into 8 is 4. Parentheses need to match. If they don't, look what you're doing wrong. So x plus 4 comes out as the common factor, and I'm left with 3x squared plus 2. So what's left on the outside makes up my second parenthesis. Question 3. Is there a common factor? No. How many terms do I have? I have 3. So that's my trial and error. That's the best way to describe a trinomial. Bless you. So first is 2. My only choice to get 2x squared is 2 times 1. Positive last term means same sign, look to the middle, so minus, minus. And 12 has 3 options, 12 times 1, 4 times 3, 6 times 2. I'm going to go with 4 and 3. We don't look at that 11 until now. Outer times outer, negative 8. Inner times inner, negative 3. There's my negative 11. It matches, perfect. And then can I go any further? Can I factor more? No. Fourth question, is there a common factor? Yes, I can take out a 4. Divide. 4 into 4x to the 4th leaves me x to the 4th. 4 into 64 is 16. Question 2, how many terms are there? There are 2. Is it a difference of squares? Yes, it is. So x to the 4th, remember, squares break the same. No guesswork involved. X squared, 4 and 4 plus minus. Always opposite signs. Question 3, can I factor more? Yes. This is a difference of squares. It's going to go further because this will break down further. Oops. So my 4 comes down. My x squared plus 4 comes down, but this is replaced by x times x, 4, 2 times 2, 1's a plus, 1's a minus. Now, I gave you a clue, a hint. I told you there's something in the question that usually tells you that you're going to factor again. And what was that? Kara? The 4th power. So that's your big hint. Okay, that's your big hint that it's probably well, not definitely, but probably going to go again. Okay, so remember that little clue. That's a big deal. Okay, next question. Is there a common factor? Why, yes, there is. I can take out a 12 from all of that. 12 into 12x squared is x squared. 12 into 24x is 2x. And 12 into 36 is 3. How many terms are there? There are 3. So that means I'm going to trial and error. X squared, my only choice is x times x. Positive last term means my signs are the same. Look to the middle, so it's minus, minus. And last times last is 3, and my only choice is 3 and 1. But when I go to check this, outer times outer is negative 1. Inner times inner is negative 3. And that's a negative 4. And if I switch the 3 and the 1, it doesn't help me. I'm still going to get -4. Don't switch your signs to make it work, because you can switch the signs to make the middle work, but then the 3 doesn't work. Okay? So, what this tells me is that that was my answer. I can't go any further. And if you remember, in goal 4.1, that's what we did. Just common factors. Just common factors, nothing else. So yes, that can happen. Now notice there was only one choice for that question, and it didn't work. I would never give you one like that where there's like 12 choices, and then you find none of the 12 work. Okay? I might be mean, but I'm not that mean. Okay? There was one choice, it didn't work, you're done. Okay? All right, next one. Is there a common factor? Yes. When you've got an odd power, know that you're going to get an x out. But I can also get a 2. So 2x. So 2x divided into 6x to the third is 3x squared. Minus 2x divided into 2x squared is 1x, or just x. And 2x into 28x is 14. And then how many terms are there? There are 3. So it's trial and error. Let's try. If it doesn't work, we're going to try something else. So first times first is 3. 3x times 1x. Negative last term means one of each, bless you. Last term is 14, so that's 7 times 2. Let's see if it works. Inners, 7 times 1. Outers, 3 times a -2. And that gives me +1. But I want -1. So I'm going to switch the signs. So that's going to be my minus, that's going to be my plus. And then I get it. And then can I factor more? No.